All right, starting lesson 5.1, we're working with systems of equations. Now a system simply means you're working with more than one equation. And the method we'll be using to solve the system is substitution. All right, going to example 1. This is how easy these problems are. Okay, here I have two equations. Here's my first, here's my second. All right, I'm going to solve this system by substitution. How exactly does that work? Well, here notice that I have y, it's isolated. It's equal to negative 2x minus 9. Now I'm going to look over to the other equation, and since I've isolated y here, I'm going to replace y here with negative 2x minus 9. Okay, so using the information from one equation, I substitute into the other equation. And I get 6x minus 5 times negative 2x minus 9. And that's equal to negative 19. All right, so I have 6x plus 10x plus 45 equals negative 19. All right, adding like terms here, I have 16x plus 45 equals negative 19. I will subtract 45. So I end up with negative 64. I divide by 16, and I get x is equal to negative 4. All right, so I have x. Now I just need to solve for y. So you could take this x and plug it into either expression here and solve for y. Okay, so if I plug it in here, then that allows me to solve for y easily. So y is equal to negative 2 times negative 4 minus 9. So I have 8 minus 9, y is equal to negative 1. So your answer then is a point. X value is negative 4, and y value is negative 1. What exactly does this mean? It means that if I graphed these two equations on a coordinate grid, they would intersect at this point. Alrighty? Let's go on to another example. Alright, in this example, there's a little more work involved, not that much more though. Because for one of the equations, you just choose one and you isolate the variable on one side. Alright, so here I have y. I want to isolate it. So I'm going to add x over to the other side. And I get y is equal to x plus 3. Okay, now I'm going to substitute this expression in for y in the other equation. Make sure you're doing it into the other equation. All right, so I have 3x plus x plus 3 equals negative 1. Combine like terms, I have 4x plus 3 equals negative 1. I subtract 3, 4x equals negative 4. Divide by 4, x is equal to negative 1. Okay, now I just take this value and I plug it back into any other equation that I had before to solve for y. I'll plug it in there. So I have y is equal to negative 1 plus 3. And I have y is equal to, sorry, that's a negative 1 plus 3. All right, so I have negative 1 plus 3, which is 2. So my answer is negative 1, 2. Once again, if I were to graph these two equations on a coordinate grid, they would intersect at this point. All right, on to the next example. All right, for example 3, we have a word problem, and this is really going to put to test your understanding of systems of equations. All right, so Drama Club earns $1,040 from the production. All right, total of 64 adult tickets and 132 student tickets are sold. An adult ticket costs twice as much as a student ticket. Okay. So we'll say X is the price of an adult ticket, and Y is the price of an, or a, student ticket. Okay, so this is important to understand here. I sold 64 adult tickets. Well, how much did I make from selling 64 adult tickets? Well, it's 64 times X. All right, X is the price of an adult ticket. Plus the 132 student tickets. Student tickets is Y, so 132 times Y gives me the amount I made from selling student tickets. Altogether, how much money was made? 1,040. All right, so that's one equation there. It's very important to understand how to set this up. All right, and then the next piece of information says adult tickets cost twice as much as a student ticket. All right, adult tickets. Adult tickets is X, and it costs twice as much as a student ticket. So that's equal to twice what a student ticket costs. All right, here's my system of equations. Great. All right, once you have the setup, it should be pretty easy from that point. All right, so now I already have X isolated here. I'm just going to substitute 2Y in for X into the other equation. So I have 64 times 2Y plus 132Y equals 1,040. All right, so I have 128Y plus 132Y equals 1,040. And then I have, adding these together, I get 260. Y is equal to 1,040. And 260 goes into 1,040 4 times. Okay, so I have Y now. It's an important piece of information. Now all I have to do is plug Y back in to one of the original equations, and I could solve for X. So X is equal to 2 times 4. 8. All right, so let's answer the question now. What is the price of each type of ticket? So you'd say an adult ticket, costs $8, and that would be a student ticket costs $4. All right, that's all there is to it. The setup is the most important part, though. If you can't do that, then you're just going to be stuck. So if you have any trouble with that, please ask for help. Begin the assignment at the bottom of the web page.